My UFO sighting out in the Kyrgyz mountains in August 2023. Location: Kyrgyzstan. Muras Yurt Camp located by the Song-Kul lake. Date of sighting: the night between 16th and 17th of August, 2023. Time of sighting: roughly between 4 and 5 a.m. Duration of sighting: a minute or so. Number of witnesses: 1. Description of sighting. Alright, so, as an introduction, I would like to say that this report does not possess any corroborating evidence, and is purely my own testimony from memory and perception, which can both be faulty, and it does not inherently prove anything. So, you may stop reading here if you are looking for concrete evidence, for which I certainly cannot blame you. However, I want to put this out because I feel like a lot of people have this misconception that UFOs and UFO sightings are predominantly a Western American phenomenon. Well, it isn't. It was the night between 16th and 17th of August. Location: Muras Yurt Camp, a camp located 3,000 meters above sea level, by the side of the Song-Kul mountain lake's edge. I woke up at about 3:30 a.m. because the embers in the yurt's furnace stove? Not sure what is the correct word for it in English have gone out and it suddenly turned real fucking cold. It didn't help that I had started experiencing some mild opiate withdrawals due to not bringing enough medication with me on my trip. After about an hour of tossing and turning, and then drinking some Kyrgyz balsam just to stave off the freezing cold of a night out in the mountains, I finally decided to get up and go outside for a smoke, seeing that I wouldn't be able to sleep again in those conditions unless I get shit-faced on the drink. So, I am openly admitting to you that I was not entirely sober. But please bear with me. We all know that alcohol and opiate WDs do not produce hallucinations. As I stood outside with my cigarette, I earnestly watched the night sky. It was brilliant and mind-expanding. So many stars, a whole galaxy above, that antediluvian and immortal Milky Way, hundreds of entire constellations unfolding to the naked eye, all glimmering and flickering above the silhouettes of mountains and the dark shadow of the lake. I witnessed several falling stars too, late August being the season of meteor showers, obligatorily made a wish, etc. However, I kept looking despite the freezing cold, because I just had this feeling that I'm about to see something. A white orb shows up in the sky, flying very high. Of course you can't accurately gauge depth perception and stuff with the naked eye, but it seemed to me higher than airplane height, and then again, I was already 3 kilometers above sea level. The orb moved with a constant speed, faster than an airplane. Now, I know what you're going to tell me now. You're going to tell me that I just saw the ISS. I know, I thought so too as well. But then I had a thought. Please, oh please, show some extraordinary movement. Let this be proof of things inhuman flying above our earthly skies. Such a though stream pulsed in my mind. Now, I am not claiming telepathic contact or that CE5 shit. Maybe it was a coincidence after all, but sure enough, the orb just fucking stops. It moved exactly like the ISS would, but then it just stopped in the sky and stayed there. I kept staring at it in disbelief, but then I messed up and lost track of it among the manifold stars, seeing as it became pretty much indistinguishable to one. Now, I know one thing about satellites, and it is that it's physically impossible for them to just cease movement entirely, from the Earth's frame of reference. And I know a thing or two about alcohol and drugs, and I know that I have never hallucinated in my life from opiate withdrawals, even at the peak of my tolerance and abuse. And at that particular time, I was only slightly dope sick, mostly just shivers and feeling cold, nothing too brutal. Why have I not filmed it? Because it was fucking dark. My iPhone cannot pick up starlight almost at all besides 1 or 2 of the brightest stars. Even with ramped up exposure, lighting, contrast, shadows, and point of black adjusted. Mind you, there were no sources of light at all, apart from the starlight, and this orb was just a dot among thousands. Post from user Bedouin Moss Flower at Reddit.